Welcome in to Two Country Home. So today, as you can see, we're back in the kitchen. We're going to do something that we usually do going into the fall season and winter for the holidays. So we're going to make up a drink called apple pie. It's called Moonshine, but we're going to use a grain alcohol called Everclear. So basically, you use 190 proof if you have it in your state, which we do, alcohol. You can also use a vodka if you'd like. You use apple cider. We're going to be using a gallon of apple cider. And we're going to mix that with 2 half gallons, one of one type of apple juice and another of another type of apple juice. And you also need, we have 1 cup of white granulated sugar, 1 cup of brown sugar, and then we have this apple pie spice, which has cinnamon, nutmeg, and allspice. We're going to be using 1 teaspoon of that, and then we also have some fresh vanilla bean that we're going to put in there as well. So basically, let me get this opened up, and we'll start to get things into the pan. I have this pan here, hopefully it holds everything. And basically you just want to get all your liquids in there with your cinnamon and your sugar, and then you want to get this warmed up, warm enough to dissolve all the sugar. And I usually like to let it simmer for a while as well, to get the flavors out. Let the cinnamon stick that we're going to put in as well. I forgot to mention that. It basically will kind of expand and release some of it. You got that. Makes a bit of a mess, so you try to pour slow with the apple cider going in. And this should render a little over 2 gallons once you put the alcohol in. A little bit will burn off. Let me go ahead and make sure. Get all the sediment off the bottom. Hopefully I can fit it all in here. It's going to be close. About all I can fit. So I have a little bit of apple juice left, and that's going to cook off just a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and add a little bit more to it as it cooks off. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it on a medium heat, let it start warming up, dissolve. Then I'm going to go ahead and get that sugar in there. Filled it pretty full, so it's going to fill up. I'll go ahead and get the first half teaspoon of the apple pie spice put in. I'll go ahead and get the other half teaspoon. I'll go ahead and snip off a little bit of the vanilla. Get that in there. That'll release its flavoring. And don't worry about this stuff going in the bottom. You can strain it out after. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with what's going to equal to about 8 vanilla sticks. Like I say, you just want to get this in there and get it to dissolve. Drop that in there. Get a spoon. Get that mixed up a little bit better. As this goes, I'll gently stir it. Make sure I get that sugar to dissolve, and this cinnamon spice, so it'll get in there, the apple spice. So I'm going to slowly bring that up to temperature, watch it, and then once it gets up to temperature, I'm going to turn it down and let it simmer for approximately 20 minutes. Get that good cinnamon flavor and get everything to kind of melt together. And then you take it off the fire and let it cool down to room temperature before you put your alcohol in. So I'll bring you back once it's up to temperature and we're ready to turn it off. So I'll see you in a minute. Welcome back in. So as you can see here, I had to transfer part of our cider and apple juice over into another pot, and also I didn't show, but we did put the brown sugar in. This pot is not quite able to handle the 2 gallons with the sugar in it until it gets dissolved out. So thought I'd bring you in and kind of show you. So this here is kind of what you're looking for. You're kind of looking just for as you can see, there's just a little bit of bubble. You want just a really light simmer. You don't want to boil it, but when it gets like that, you can just let it go like that for about 45 minutes, and that's what we've done. So I'm going to go ahead and take the heat off of this, and this one the same way. As you can see, it's just got a little bit of a simmer boil there, and the whole house obviously smells like apple pie. So this again, I'm going to go ahead and take it off the fire. I'm just going to move these to the back. You want these to completely cool down. You don't want to, some people say you can put your alcohol in right away, but there is a chance if it's really hotter than this that you can cook off some of your alcohol. And also, of course, it's highly flammable at 190 proof. But we're just going to let this sit, cool, like I say, completely down. It'll probably take an hour or hour and a half. And then we'll bring you back in when we add the grain alcohol and jar it up. So we'll see you in a little while. So welcome back. So everything's come back to room temperature and cooled down and looking like it should. Really smells like apple pie, like it should. So we're gonna go ahead and get some of this jarred in. I don't have a whole lot of mason jars. They're a little hard to come by now, so gonna use just a few, and then I'll put whatever I have left in this carboy here and just use that. So as you can see, we have a cinnamon stick in each of the jars, and this one has a little bit more in it obviously than this. This probably has closer to 3/4 of a gallon. So we'll put a little bit more of the grain alcohol in here, a little bit less in here, and then as I fill these, I might mix between the two just to try to equal it out a little bit. So we'll get this in here, and I'll come down a little ways. Obviously, you can put as much of this in, or at least a little bit less if that's what what you're after. But obviously, it's nice to put a little bit of a bite into it. It's after all why you're making it. Now there'll be a little bit of sediment in the bottom, so I do have a filter to screen that out if we need to. But at the start, I'll just go with it from the top, and let me just mix that in a little bit. Cinnamon sticks are still in there, so we will not reuse those. We put fresh sticks in the jars as well as in the carboy. Set that over here. So you can use a ladle, but I find the easiest way is just to use a coffee cup. Just go in, hold your cup over when you pour. Might make a little mess, but you don't want to waste any of it. I won't jar all these up, but you can kind of see that's going to be your basic finished product. Of course, we'll come back with a little towel here and clean the lid off. These are going to go in the refrigerator. I probably won't put them much in the on the counter, although you could, but I'll put them in the refrigerator. But that's what your final product is going to look like. Nice dark cider look. As you leave this in the refrigerator, let it rest. You can let it rest a month or two. The longer you let it rest, the more the alcohol will mellow out with that cinnamon stick, and it'll be a nice drink come the fall. So just thought I'd show you a quick recipe on how to make apple pie. Well, not necessarily moonshine because you're using Everclear, but more of an apple pie drink. Just be careful with it because it's really smooth. You only taste the apple and cinnamon, so you don't really taste the alcohol, especially after it rests for a month or so. So it can get away with you if you drink too much, and just drink responsibly. But just thought I'd bring you a quick video of how you can make a nice drink for fall, or if you have Thanksgiving parties or Halloween, or even into Christmas, with cider. So if you appreciate watching our videos, I hope you might subscribe. We appreciate y'all watching our videos. So with that, I think I'll close the video and have a good day from Two Country Home.